New month, new watch list. We're gamers among us, and if you don't know us, we're a team of gamers on a mission to keep the gaming public educated so they aren't left in the dark about what to play. If you're a casual gamer, like most, you're bound to miss some gems here and there that could be your next favorite. That's what we aim to fix with the Gamers Watchlist, a series where we highlight some of the upcoming games that we think are worth playing. This week, we've got 4 new titles. Deliver Us the Moon, a spooky sci-fi thriller set on, well, the moon. ReadySet Heroes, a multiplayer dungeon crawler with an interesting twist. Indivisible, an RPG platformer set in a high fantasy world full of charm. Concrete Genie, a PS4 exclusive that focuses on creativity and complex puzzle solving. And Ghost Recon Breakpoint, a tactical shooter set in the near future, where you'll tear across a giant open world wreaking havoc. I'm Calamity Code, your host, we're gamers among us, and this is the Gamers Watchlist. Lego. Up first this week is a sci-fi thriller that'll make fans of space and astronomy feel right at home. Deliver Us the Moon, which will be released on October 10th, is set in an apocalyptic near future, where Earth's resources have run out. Your mission is to visit the moon, specifically a base called the World Space Agency that is stationed on the moon, which is the sole source of energy for the planet after climate change and depleted oil reserves have taken the world by literal storm. You're on a solitary mission to figure out what happened after communications with the agency suddenly ceased. You'll explore the ruins of past lunar missions with your only friend and ally, a robot called the ASE drone, as you solve intricate puzzles and uncover the lore behind this carefully crafted world. Personally, I'm a huge fan of great modern movies set in space, such as Gravity, Interstellar, Passengers, and countless more. The developers took inspiration from these movies to create their visuals and soundtrack, so it's bound to be a haunting, cinematic experience from start to finish. I'm excited to give this one a shot, and if you're a fan of story-driven games with a lot of heart, you should be excited too. For a complete change of pace, the next game is ReadySet Heroes, a multiplayer dungeon crawler with a twist. That twist, they say, is that as you crawl through said dungeon, you're actually in a race against another team racing through the same dungeon. Your goal is to reach the end faster than the opposing team, which will give you an advantage at the end when you face them in an arena brawl. You'll start each randomized dungeon with only the most basic of equipment, so you'll need to focus on looting as you race forward, finding stronger armor, weapons, and magic spells in order to gain the upper hand. This game will feature split-screen co-op for up to 4 players, as well as online multiplayer. This was released on the 1st of October, so it's available now on both PS4 and PC. Up next, we're taking a look at Indivisible, a hand-drawn action RPG platformer set in a fantasy world, which is set to be released on October 8th. You'll take control of Ajna, a fearless girl with a rebellious streak and a hard-to-pronounce name who sets out on a quest to save everything she knows from being destroyed. This game is a Metroidvania brought to us by the creators of Skullgirls, which was a popular fighting game with a cult following from 2012. This art style isn't personally my cup of tea, but from the looks of the trailers, the cutscenes are drawn well enough that they could easily fit into any top-tier anime. We're promised huge RPG battles full of drama, with dozens of playable characters you can choose from to customize your style. This looks like a fun tribute to lots of different playstyles, so if any of this looks like your kind of game, be sure to give it a shot and let us know what you think in the comments. The teams behind Sony's first-party studios are all very highly respected, and for good reason. They've brought us the likes of God of War, The Last of Us, Spider-Man, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Horizon Zero Dawn, Tearaway, Uncharted, Infamous. Sorry, I got a bit excited there. These are some damn good games. the Sony train has seemingly slowed down a bit as they've geared up for the next year's announcement of the next console, the PlayStation 5. Besides the fantastic Days Gone released earlier this year, the experimental Dreams that was released in early access in April, and the upcoming Death Stranding, there's not a whole lot going on in 2019 for Sony. There is one gem, however, that many people have overlooked or forgotten about, and that gem, my friends, is Concrete Genie, set to be released on October 8th as a PS4 exclusive. This is an action-adventure game revolving around a young boy named Ash. He enjoys doodling and carries around a notebook full of his art. One day, a group of bullies steal his notebook, rip the pages out, and scatter them around the city. On a quest to find all the pages, Ash discovers a magical paintbrush that he can use to breathe life into his doodles. As the player, your goal is to paint your own creatures, and their abilities and personality are all directly affected by the shapes and colors that you use. For example, drawing a red creature will grant it fire-breathing abilities, and a yellow creature would have an affinity for electricity. You'll use these creations of yours to bring life back to the city, solving puzzles along the way that'll require some critical thinking and a bit of artistic ability. You'll also have the bullies to worry about, who are constantly roaming about the town, tearing down your creations and just generally being jerks. Big old jerks. Regardless of your thoughts on Sony in general, this is a neat little game that brings forward mechanics that have been built upon for years. Does anyone remember those old games where you draw lines for your character to use as an obstacle course / racetrack? Well, this is the modern interpretation of that, and it's amazing. For our last game, we've got the latest in the Tom Clancy series, Ghost Recon, which has steadily been gaining recognition since its first entry back in 2001. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint is set to be released, well, a couple days ago, and should bring tactical shooter fans a ton of content to keep them satisfied. It is a direct narrative sequel to 2017's Ghost Recon Wildlands, so fans of that game can expect more of the same great gaming with tons of fresh mechanics to keep it interesting. Breakpoint has a huge open world full of various landscapes for you to explore, which you can do so with all kinds of air, land, and sea vehicles. The game will launch with 4 character classes, with more planned in future updates. As with many open world games of this generation, you do have the choice of approaching conflict with either stealth or aggression, and there are many, many different weapons and tools at your disposal to make either method more appealing. Dialogue choices will be present for those of you who are fans of consequence, and you can utilize the popular exploration mode that Ubisoft first introduced in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which encourages you to find your objectives on your own rather than following map markers. This game is set 4 years after the events of Wildlands, on an island called Aroa in the South Pacific. You'll take on the role of a former soldier named Ghost Cole Walker in your hunt for information about a corrupt technology corporation known as Skell Technology. Survival is certainly emphasized much more in this entry, with enemies posing a much greater threat, requiring more strategy with each battle. You can play co-op with up to 3 other players, but any of these players can be substituted with an AI ally when needed. One downside to the implementation of this feature, though, is that the game will require a constant internet connection. A competitive multiplayer mode is available, and cooperative raids are planned for the future, so again, there's a ton of content here to enjoy when you just get that carnal desire to shoot something in the face. Alright everybody, that's a wrap for today, but there's so much more headed your way this month, so be sure to stay tuned and subscribe for more. Tell us in the comments what games you're excited about, so we can be sure to include them in future episodes. And if you have a game of your own that you're releasing, let us know, so we can help promote it. Also be sure to check out gamersamongus.com, where we're working slowly but surely to create the best site in the world for gamers to hang out and talk about gaming. It's still in its infancy, but with a quick like and subscribe, you're helping us reach that goal, so it's much appreciated. This has been Calamity Code, your guru of gaming, and we'll see you next week.